Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Said, and you know what I've done, and you know what we're doing, and you know what I know what you're doing.
And what you're doing is watching Talking with TalksALot, the variety talk show that lets you know that we care. Only a little bit, though. Hail to all the wonderful people in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Coming back for the 5th round of Talking with TalksALot, joining us today, the wonderful Nickweiser. How you doing, sir?
Sir talks a lot. I'm doing good, man. Nice, good old Monday afternoon over here. And one of the rare nice parts of IL. So glad to be here for the 5th round of Talking Talks. That's always a pleasure to do these shows with you. So I'm glad we can slide in time for another round. So, and I guys, make sure you rub that thumbs up button for Corey the right way. And make sure you give him a nice, well-rounded, huge.
So, how was your weekend, bro?
Weekend was very busy weekend, but not a bad weekend by any sense of me. It's just obviously I had a really kick-ass comic shop show on Friday night. We had Gabe El Taib on, who is obviously the colors on the Rippaverse ISOM #1. He's also doing his own books. You want to talk about a very memorable guest? Holy shit. He's like Jordan Peterson of comic books. I'm straight up like, I'm not joking, dude. Okay. This guy was he came in there and he came in there and he went off like an Alex Jones style tangent, but with motivation instead of crazy possessed politics. Right. And I was just like, I'm just gonna let him have it. I'm just gonna let him go for it. And we did. And dude, holy shit, the guy was a freight train, but it was the best thing ever. So I highly stress to the chat, please catch that replay. He was such a great guest. He was so much fun to have on, and
that's awesome.
It was absolutely awesome. So no, it's a new week, and got a few video ideas kicking in the head, and of course I got big week coming up here on the YouTube world. So, but right now I'm focusing on the here and now with you, and apparently we're doing a few different spices this time around. So let's see what you got.
Yeah, a little bit. I do thank you for taking the time to be on here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'd much rather have my friends on here than somebody I'm not familiar with. So, yeah, especially when we're trying new things. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try something different with Talking with TalksALot today. But first, Hail Omega Star Productions. He says, hello there, guys. Round 5. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 ding. Fight.
Hail Jacob Ironside. Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. And then there's this fine fellow, 32 Flavors of Nickweiser. Never would have guessed he'd be in the chat. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Hail Casey Charlie Chats. He says, hi, everybody. This is going to be huge. All right. So I've been trying to find new ways to inject some livelihood into returning guests. So today I found a few news stories that I'd like to pick your brain on.
Ooh.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you know it's Sir TalksALot, then you know this isn't going to be a politically driven news articles. So if you want that, stop by tonight on Yelling at Parked Cars when we have the Shagsworth.
Oh, yeah.
But the first one I have here is Bloomberg says the party's over. London nightclubs may shut down over energy prices. Businesses are calling on government to help with 5-fold increase in bills. Hail the lovely Sherry. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Sherry.
So, Nick, does this surprise you that with electricity prices going up 5 times that people can't go out and party anymore?
If they couldn't keep you locked down to stay in, now they're just making everything so expensive so you stay in anyways. It was gonna be one thing or the other, and honestly, as much as I like to blame the state on this, I sometimes blame the business for trying right here, calling on the government to help. That's your first part of the problem, is calling on them to help. And that's not going to solve your problem whatsoever, because government is not going to save you and your ass.
Well, and then, what breaks my brain about this particular thing that I found was the fact that we know, as rational reasoning adults, that the government is probably why they're having an energy problem in the first place. Because most of this shit is manufactured.
Oh, yes.
I've seen it all over the place, obviously in the UK, but Norway, they had like a double followed by a triple, followed by a double, followed by a triple of the energy prices. And, I don't know if you're familiar with Norway in the wintertime, but those people are going to be fucked this year. Yay.
They always, and that's the thing. Like, no one ever pieces it together. And I think that they have this refusal, this desire in the head that it can't be them causing this problem. It can't be. And that's what you get. Like, when people invest so much of themselves into these mega level institutions, they think surely they can never be the cause of the problem, even though we have seen them openly mess up issues left and right as far back as the Iraq War in 2003.
For real.
I mean, and that's I'm being generous with that. We can name more issues further back, but I guess we could say it started getting slowly noticed more. But
indeed,
people relying on government for their issues. You're going back to them like an abusive boyfriend or girlfriend. They're causing the issue, but you're causing them to solve the issue.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm going to go to the school bully who just took all my lunch money and see if he can help me afford some lunch.
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck would you do this? You're asking the people causing the problem to fix the problem when they know that causing the problem is good for them.
Yeah. It reminded me of a tweet Gina made last summer, I think, or last spring. And it was something along the lines of that. If someone borrows your car and it's been 2 years, are they coming back with your car?
Right.
Are they coming back with your car? If they said they were just going to borrow your car for a little bit, would you? Yeah, right. Borrow. After 2 years, they ain't coming back with your car, bro. They ain't coming back with your car. Right. And then all of a sudden, when you apply that, when you say that to anyone, like any human being, they'll think, okay, yeah, that person's not coming back. But when you throw that logic into government, they automatically most people just fold their position because they somehow think that that logic applies differently to government.
Right.
It never does. But I hate saying it for businesses, especially ones that are not mega level corporations, because I do try to have a bit more apathy. But at times like this is one of those rare times where I'm just like, maybe you don't deserve to run one. If you can't seem to figure it out, then you shouldn't be running a business, because you, of all people, should know how the state functions. I mean, you're running a business. You're running it. So you, of all, should know this. One thing if the customer does it, but when you're the businessman, bro, come on.
For real. I have an interesting idea for these people to fix their nightclub issue, but first, hail Diablo Dame. Pleasure to see you, madam. Hail Lasso of Truth. The government is always the problem. Yes, they are. Hail Katina Martin. Lovely to see you here. Hail, it jumped on me, Christian DeLorme. Good day to you, sir.
I met that man last week in person.
Oh, that's awesome.
Him and his wife. Yeah, nice. Dude. They were such awesome people. And he gave me a Slayer vinyl. You want to talk about I was just like how I thought my eyes were gonna fall off my head and then my head was just gonna roll off the ground at Navy Pier. But yeah, that crazy Canadian son of a bitch. Christian, you're a crazy man. I thank you.
Hell yeah. So to fix the London nightclub issues, here's my thought. Okay. Go find a place that's public place that runs off of public electricity and do a Project X. Just fucking throw the largest rager in the history of ever outside using the government's electricity Make sure you have your permits. But if you don't have to pay for it, fuck yeah. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's my, steal from the government. It'll be okay. Anyway, so the next story hits a little close to home for anyone with the male genitalia. But it shows that women disapprove of toplessness more than men. I know this is breaking news to everyone in the entire world, but regardless of the context, according to the Sunday Times, men are more significantly in favor of bare breasts than women. Only the shocking truth on Sir TalksALot. Now, this, of course, comes after the Free the Nipple March in Brighton. Okay, topless men and women flocking Brighton Beach to challenge sexist double standards that only topless men are accepted. But a study showed that women, regardless of the context, are like, I don't really want to see your titties, lady. What are your thoughts on this, Nick? Hail
I bet you, well, the ones who want to say free the nipple and whoever wrote this article are probably people who are butterballs like Rosie O'Donnell. That's what I think.
This is a combination of New York Times / Daily Mail UK. So yeah, definitely probably a butterball writing this.
Like a straight up fucking this butterball bowling ball is gonna get you a strike butterball. This shit,
now,
yeah, that's all it is. It's just more complaining.
I will suggest to the chat and to you, Nickweiser, to go check out this article from the Daily Mail UK simply because they have pictures of Free the Nipple. I can't show it here, obviously, but if you want to see what these crazy people are doing in Brighton Beach, go check it out, Daily Mail. It's an interesting article, and you'll see why a lot of people are not okay with freeing the nipple in this context. Because as you can guess, it's not exactly the prettiest people being.
Well, it's kind of like the whole abortion thing. I'm not going into like the whole how you feel about the subject, but it's just usually, I guess we'll say 7 to 8 times out of 10 the one who really want, who are very pro-abortion. They're usually like hideous man things. They are these gargantuan creatures that probably never brush their teeth, and they live off the states every bang like it's their fucking daddy. So it's usually what that is majority of the time. Yes, obviously there's exceptions, like most things, but most of the time it's just bro.
Indeed. And if you notice the body positivity movement, if you will,
very bad thing, but go on.
It's very filled with very ugly fucking people. Okay.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying I'm a super attractive individual, but as an even semi-attractive individual, I find these people disgusting. But I have standards. I understand if your standards are 3 feet tall and 500 pounds. No judgment out loud. But hail Sean Landrigan. Hail brightest day. It's good to see you guys.
What's up,
Thank
guys?
you for joining us. We're talking about the shocking truth that women disapprove of toplessness more than men. Just so you can catch up to the... See, and Southern Belle brings up a very important point here. The imagination is more powerful.
There is nothing wrong with that, and she's got a point, and I think you can thank or blame, however the perspective shifts your way on, wait for it, porn and Playboy, because you lose the idea of, well, just the whole the mystery type of thing, and that's something.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I love the internet. I love technology. I'm a big modern tech fan. But it is definitely, we have taken away a lot of mystery, not just with the whole concept of, I guess you could say the female body, but just with the idea of the persona in general, even if it's celebrities and just a regular guy like, I guess, Schwarzenegger, just we now hear their every thoughts. Back then you had to hear them on a very prepared statement.
Yep.
And that was it.
It used to make it much more fun and
Oh,
interesting
yeah.
for us not to know these celebrities as well as we do. And in my opinion, that's pretty much the reason social media and their open ability to soapbox wherever the fuck they want has taken away from entertainment on a level that is unacceptable. Because I don't actually want to know these people. Like if I ever had to work with them, that's one thing. But I don't actually want to know who these people are. I don't fucking care. I'm pretty sure most fans don't fucking care until they make us have to pay attention to it. But the same thing goes with topless women and all this other stuff. Is once you take the imagination out of it, it's not as much fun. Because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but fantasizing is a huge part of the human existence. Lasso of Truth says, I don't even like most men to be topless. Well, I don't either. Okay. On that note, I don't either. I don't care if you're ripped with tattoos or if you're a fucking 400-pound man with moves. Keep your shirt on. I saw a guy walking down the street earlier today on my way back from Walmart. And I'm like, bro, you're in a school zone. That should be illegal. Like,
yeah,
man had
especially in
bigger
a cool zone. Be one thing
Yeah.
if he was at like a beach, because different sand to the beach, but you're in a children's zone, bro.
Well, and I don't. It's not even so much that it's the school zone as it is like, bro, who are you trying to impress? He's walking down the most dead fucking street in the world, topless, strutting his shit like he's the shit. And I'm like, bro, 3 things would help you right now. 1, put on a shirt. 2, maybe do some crunches, okay? And 3, paper bag over your head. There's a lot of fat people that think they're hot, and I find it terrible.
It is terrible. Like there's like, it's weird because like I do respect a degree of confidence. I do. But if you're like promoting that as like a way to live, especially if you're like morbidly obese,
dude,
that's a really big problem.
It's a killer.
Like, yeah, it's in more ways than one.
And promoting this kind of lifestyle, like I'm all for feeling good about yourself, who you are as a person. But these people seem to have forgotten the most important aspect of life, and that's you should always work to improve yourself in some way, shape, or form. Now, if you're a narcissist, you probably don't think you need to improve yourself. But if you can't see your toes, or it's been more than 3 months since you've seen your own dick, lose some weight. It's pretty simple. I mean, as a man, I'm pretty sure there's some health checks these people need to be doing that they're unable to do so.
Should be doing. But nowadays you have medical doctors, people with paper to their names who won't say anything about this behavior, even though they know it's really bad for them. But now everyone is compromised and then some. So now it's, well, I gotta say the socially acceptable thing. And just when that shit shifts, and it will, it's gonna. I predict somewhere between 10 to 15 years. A lot of people are gonna act like they never did that shit. They're all gonna deny it. So that's why I save every receipt possible.
Get those receipts, people. Hell yeah! So the next one is probably my favorite of what I came across. Florida woman gets arrested after calling 911 more than 12,000 times. And this is, of course, from India TV. I get a lot of international news. I get a lot of American news from international sites.
I believe that
is. But a Florida woman called 911 more than 12,000 times this year alone and was charged with 3 misdemeanors for misusing the emergency number. Can you guess, Mr. Nickweiser, why she did it? I mean, she looks like a nice lady, right?
She looks like she could either be a really nice lady or a lady who looks nice in disguise but has a very sleazy side to her.
That's a fair assumption.
Is this about sex calls? Did she think like
Mhm.
911 was like a phone sex line?
Well, Clara Jefferson of Pinellas County called 911 to harass and demean officers. In her own words, she calls to harass, to cuss, and just degrade the emergency callers. Literally
Holy shit!
12,000 times this year to cuss out emergency operators. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but she doesn't exactly look like a defund the police type. Haha. But literally to harass, cuss, and just degrade. Hail, Heron of Alexandria. The entire world loves the hijinks of Florida man and woman.
Facts.
They do indeed. So 12,000 calls in 8 months, basically.
Wow.
Do you feel like maybe misdemeanors don't quite cover this?
Not at all. Not at all. It does not, and it never will. Misdemeanors, like, man, you want to talk about getting off Sky? She's gonna do it again. She's gonna do it again. If this is what we consider misdemeanor, you damn right she's gonna do it again. And trust me, mark my words on that. Obviously, someone's gonna. I'll need to prove that, but if it can be proven, she will do that shit again. Because we're like, oh, that's it. That's all I got for 12,000 of these calls, bro. Might as well do another 6,000 more.
Right. She's going to up those rookie numbers, and I think Lasso's onto something here. She obviously lives off of welfare.
That's most likely. That's
and
probably a possibility. She probably does, especially people like that have time on their hands and they don't know how to make their time useful. And if you have to do 12,000, dude, that takes a lot of time to have.
So KC Charlie chats, it keeps jumping on me. So he says 46 per day approximately.
Holy shit.
46 times a day this bitch is calling to harass emergency workers. Now, I'm just thinking out loud here, but don't they have caller ID? I mean, you'd think they'd be able to tell that it's this lady calling.
I don't. Maybe they're supposed to just pick up no matter what. I mean, I don't know how
that is the regulation
is of 9/11.
That is the protocol. Is you have to answer the phone calls, but I feel like there should be some kind of buffer for raggedy cunts like this bitch. That being said, if she ever had an actual emergency, who do you think she'd call?
Whew. I don't know. I mean, she calls 911 so much just to taunt them. I guess I don't know. I'm kind of scrambling with this one because if she calls, you're supposed to call 911 for these issues, but she calls 911 for a whole other thing, and this is where we are at with her. I don't know. Who do you call your boyfriend? I don't know.
And that's the question. It's like, okay.
Well, yeah.
See, and Jacob Ironside says 1 day of 46 calls would be enough for her to get charged. And she's only being charged with 3 misdemeanors. Okay. 46 calls a day, and she gets 3 charges. I believe she should pick up a misdemeanor for every single time, or at least every single day. Because out here in Colorado, when you call the emergency line, if you're pranking them or doing something that's a waste of their time, the first time you do it, you get a $500 fine. The second time you do it, you get a $500 fine and 24 hours of community service. The third time you do it, you get a $1,000 fine, 72 hours of community service, and if you're lucky, you get a nice 30-day stay in the local jail.
And I bet you she doesn't want a quality of outcome when this type of situation should affect her. She'll
Right.
want just the misdemeanor, not the 500, 500, 1,000, 1,000. Dude, she should be owing 6 digits. And the last thing I want anyone is giving more money to the state. But holy crap, she set herself up for disaster. And yet the state treats people like her like we got to be more tender towards her. Fuck.
Right. And this is Florida, okay, where they're supposedly cracking down on all kinds of different shit. But it feels to me like their punitive justice system is slightly out of whack.
Oh, dude. I mean, maybe I think both are true. I do believe maybe Florida is cracking on state, but yeah, remember, like, doing this type of stuff is hard. It's kind of like the whole cut one head off, two more shall take its place. For everything they're probably solving, they're probably creating monsters at the same time. So it's an uphill battle, and that's what happens when there's a massive giving of state power for X amount of years. It's a long battle, and that's why I think overall this type of stuff, as long as the situation continues to slowly shift towards either the other way or towards the center, it's gonna be a very long time. A lot of people don't like hearing that, but like I said, I'm standing by 10 and 15 years. Hey, if it happens in 5 years, I'll be glad to be wrong. That's something I want to be wrong about. But you understand, these people have gone to a power for a reason, and they're going to hold on to it with an iron fist as long as possible. So they ain't going to let it go that easily. Some of them fucked their way to the top. Some of them, snuck into the top, and some of them busted tail to make sure that when they got the power, they're never going to give it up. So, and to remove all of that, uphill battle.
For real. So Lasso of Truth says it looks like Florida needs a new emergency services abuse law. She corrected the Gloria to Florida down here. I agree. They could, but she says, sorry, Sir TalksALot, but I'm thinking she will not pay the costs, fines, or fees. I agree. I don't think this lady's good for it. Honestly, look at her face and tell me this lady's going to pay fine.
What money she got? She's broke.
Well, I don't know how things work in Florida, but maybe they take food stamps. Heron of Alexandria says she's obviously crazy. I know her type. My dad's stepsister is the same way. Fun. And that's the crazy part about this story is this is just one of the people that got caught for doing stupid shit. And everybody knows that if there's one, there's more. So, but 12,000 times. More than 12,000 times.
I know. 12,000 times. You or I did this, dude. We'd be fucked.
Have you ever done it? What is something that comes to your mind that you think you've done 12,000 times?
Maybe have Puerto Rican rice. Maybe. Because that was my first human food when I was a fucking butterball of a baby. This was my first. And I may have had that food every single week of my existence. Maybe even more than pizza. That's about it. That's it. If I've even have I lived that long to be 12,000 days? I don't know. I'm gonna be 35 next month. Is that that's too much math to think about. Someone can calculate that for me if they want. 35 and then 365. But they also have to factor in the leap year too. So I guess you're rounding up, not getting an exact amount, dude.
Lasso says breathe. Yeah, pretty much. That's the only thing I could think of that I've done 12,000 times.
Probably maybe brush my teeth if you don't factor in the first year of being a butterball baby. Maybe breathe. I mean, sorry, not brushing teeth, but other than that, you should be absolutely doing that every single damn day of your life.
Yeah, I agree with that. Brush your teeth, motherfuckers, and floss. Please floss.
Yes, floss.
It makes your breath smell a lot better when you don't have food pieces in your teeth. So, Nick, you just said your birthday is next month.
Yes.
What day of September is that?
September 18th. We'll be celebrating. Don't worry. You'll be. I'll be doing a Sunday night stream for that. So you will be there. It'll be great and it'll be fun. It's gonna be huge. Oh. She said it's 12,775. I guess she rounded out. So I guess that's the approximate. Okay. So
Well,
living and breathing. Okay. So that's something I've done or approximately done 12,000 times. Cool. Thank you,
nice.
Aaron.
I'm glad someone out there is willing to do the math.
Yeah, right. Our chat's very generous like that.
Indeed. Speaking of generosity, if you'd like to support the channel, go ahead and donate to the Ko-Fi link. It's pinned in the chat and it's in the description. So if you want to help out the channel, then go ahead. I am buying some new digital 2D animation packs.
Ooh.
Southern Belle says, too many people are bored. They can come to my house and help with house repairs, Yellow Jacket, best, laundry, gardening, prepping. That'd be great, but I don't think I'd want these people anywhere near my house. Yellow Jacket nest. Okay. But that's a personal choice. You know, I would rather not have crazy around my house too much. Fucking 12,000 times though.
I know.
Like, fuck me.
You had to also like have I thought about more minimal amount of sleep, and you had to have like, I don't know if maybe multiple phones, maybe speed dial. I just, how do you come into that position? I don't freaking know, dude. Like,
man, I feel like she woke up in the
crazy.
morning. She like gets her coffee ready with her Hennessy in it. And then she's just all like, well, it's time to give them a call. 911. Hey, motherfucker, I hate your face. You know, some shit like that.
Hangs
like,
up.
ha.
Hey, motherfucker, again. Hate you too.
I bet you that lady's primary language, and this is not racially motivated, it kind of is, but is Ebonics.
What's Ebonics?
Ebonics is, in my opinion, the butchering of the English language as seen primarily by inner city black folk.
Oh, slang. Just slang.
You her.
Yeah, slang.
Her.
I just call it slang. Yeah.
Well, they like to call it Ebonics. So I'm just going to call it Ebonics. They want their own language. They want their own national anthem. Then fuck it. Let's go. Ebonics is the bastardization of the human language through inner city schooling, in my opinion.
You know, it's funny you mention that because when I lived in the city, I actually saw a lot of white guys who were doing that too in the city. Oh, dude. It was sometimes they were worse. Oh man. Because I'd see white dudes do it, I'm like,
oh dude,
bro.
I ain't saying that white people ain't guilty of butchering it, dude. If you've ever talked to any white person from South Carolina, Kentucky, Louisiana, any of those places that have their own dialects of English, you're familiar with people fucking up the English language. If I remember correctly, there's over 60 variations of English in the United States. And I speak one. I speak one. English. Two if you count like tired rambling. But she says her life was calling 911. That's obsessive. She needs help and massive community service and chores. I agree.
Yeah, she does.
Ebonics is like crib for house, grill for teeth, and gat for gun.
Gat. Yeah. I have not heard that one. That's awful. Gat.
Yeah, fuck. You've never heard, stay strapped with the gat.
I've not heard. And trust me, I've been around some gangbangers in my life. I have. I'll admit it, and I've never heard gat. For all the slang a lot of gangbangers do, I've never heard gat. That is,
if I remember correctly, gat is typically an East Coast slang for gun. Okay. With West Coast, they stick to more like peace, stuff like that. In the middle, it's a mixture of things. I've met bangers from Dallas that use gat, and I've met bangers from Austin that use peace. Sling and steel, all kinds of different shit that they say. Hail Rico Zorro.
Hello, Rico.
I like that thumbnail. That's a fun
I do
thumbnail.
too. It reminds me of I was watching Razor Fist's video again last week. Reject Modernity, Embrace Pulp Heroism, which if you haven't watched it, you should. It's a great half-hour video on like, you know, we've talked endlessly in the last X amount of years, particularly in the last 5 or 6, about the deconstructionism of heroism in like Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Star Trek, etc., etc. And he feels like the way of going forward is to go back. And he recommended all these great pulp stories. And obviously, Zorro was in that list. And he recommended the Dave Stevens book on The Rocketeer, who's the creator of The Rocketeer, which is something I want to look into. But yeah, I would highly recommend watching it. It's a great half hour of your time.
Hell yeah. I'll have to check that out.
I'll shoot it to you on Gilded.
Oh, please do. So, on the hero note.
Yes.
Why do you think they're trying to make all of these fucking pussies into heroes?
Reinvention of society in every way. You destroy the family, you destroy the hero, create weak men, create a weak society. When you create everything to be weak and shaped to be perceived as weak, it makes it easier for everything to be controlled. That's straight up it. Like, that's why you see everything mocking all those things, strong men, the idea of the nuclear family, like those anything that's considered tradition or Western society. And obviously they're very terrible for doing that, but also the ones who let it happen are just as bad because, yeah, I get like the problem is a lot of people who defended those ideas or defended because they basically just said, hey, you shouldn't do this. And then they're like, okay, you can go do it now.
Yeah.
Their arguments were really not good arguments most of the time. They just basically went with, well, it's tradition, it's standard. It's just like, I mean, in some ways, yeah, you're right. But the thing is, just because you're very invested in something doesn't mean that you should give yourself a crappy argument just because you think it's the same. You got to have a good, thought out argument. They got so invested in their idea that they thought our idea is the greatest. We don't have to explain why our idea is great. They should had stuff that was thought out. Like, look at how well the black men and black women did of the nuclear family before they were living off mass welfare statism. They were
true.
In some ways, they were more successful than white people were. Yeah, more successful. And then the government got involved in their lives to a greater level, and now you see them hurting so much more. So.
Well, that's because they weaponized everything that everyone holds as an identifying factor. And if you weaponize anything that someone identifies with, then you're gonna get the rebat fucking low brain shit that we see these days. Mm-hmm. Hail Boosh McFadden.
Boosh.
That's an
What's
awesome
up, Boosh?
dog you got there, bro.
Yeah, it's an awesome. And that dude posts great food photos on my Gilded, by the way.
He does on mine too. He is, dude. Did he he did some tacos or something the other day?
Dude, yeah.
Hail the Nerdporial life form. He says, anybody watch House of the Dragon yesterday? No.
I still have not watched one episode of Game of Thrones. Maybe someday. Like, I know my Stella, she's gonna start watching it, and I just said, just remember, wieners, floppy wieners. If you don't understand reference, hopefully someone in the chat will understand that reference.
Hail Blair to Blair.
Blair.
So Lasso says, did you know you can up your charisma by sporting some TalksALot style? Check these threads. That's my new merch shop there. It is also in the link in the description. Go check that out. It is awesome. Nerdporial Lifeform says, do not watch Game of Thrones. Okay. Well, we won't. I won't anyway. I've got better things to do with my time, like eagerly waiting for the second season of Reacher to come out.
Dude, Primal Season 2 is 6 episodes in. Me and Quarter Black Garrett did a review on Season 1. Mm-hmm. It's on HBO Max, and it's fucking awesome. If you remember Gendy Tartakovsky, he created Samurai Jack. This is his current child, Primal. Ooh, nice. It's like heavy metal.
It's in my watch list.
Barbarian. Speed that shit up. Also, the new Beavis and Butthead is freaking great. Not the movie Do the Universe and the new episodes that have followed up after that movie. Holy shit, dude. Beavis and
That's-
Butthead has been kicking ass lately.
That's what I keep hearing.
I'm going to give you a vague, very vague, like, spoiler reference. They make fun of modern college. That's it. I'm not going any further than that.
All right.
You know what modern colleges are like. Just go on. Watch it.
Indeed. Hail the Basco scenario. It's good to see you here. Hail Lindsay, the cynical geek. She says, hello, boys.
Welcome, everyone. Look at all these drop-ins. I love it.
So, what's on Toxic Tuesday tomorrow?
Dude, Airplane, man.
Oh, nice. Sweet. That's
Airplane.
cool. I haven't seen that movie in a minute.
Dude, I was like, wow, this movie is freaking great still. And I don't know if I have or have not. I said that I had not, but then I watch them, like, parts of this feel familiar, so I don't know if I have or have not. Maybe I have. It happens.
It happens a lot these days with meme culture, because I see airplane memes all over the place still.
Oh yeah.
See, Basco for calling me Shirley. Don't call me Shirley.
We took 3 weeks off, and it's great because, the last few weeks prior, everyone's schedules was getting a little bit hectic, and I like having a nice set panel of faces that we recognize to keep the chemistry going. And then I was just like, you know what, guys, why don't we just take a break? That way everyone could get their lives sorted out. We're all primed and ready for tomorrow. It's great. You're gonna have set that 70s rock fan. You have back returning Mark D with a C. Nice. Gary from Pop Culture Minefield, Dustin, Keto Simple, Tom Midnight's Edge. It's gonna be nice to have the band back together, and we're all excited. Justin or Richard will probably be around. I'm so excited about having us back because I miss Toxic Tuesday, and I've had people asking me, like, is it done? I'm like, it's not done. It's gonna come back. It's gonna be huge tomorrow. So
huge.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that you took the break, because a lot of people are burning out. I can see it as a behavioral scientist, as a person who reads body language. A lot of people are burning out right now. So if you guys need a break, then take a break. We can't all be Nerdrotic or Culture Casino or any of these guys that just go the whole time. If you need a break, take a break. And especially if you're a new content creator trying to figure stuff out, don't just shotgun it out there and run yourself ragged, because then you'll burn out on it and you won't enjoy it anymore. And remember, we do this because we enjoy doing this. It's like I always tell my son with video games. When you start to feel the frustration is when you need to take the break, not after it's kicked in.
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
Just, breathe, relax. I'm looking forward to finding out how everything went in Vegas tonight. It's going to be great.
I'll be going to Orlando. So if anyone in the chat is going to Orlando, I will be in Florida this October. I just booked for I did my RSVP for the event. I will be booking my flight next week. So if anyone that's out there in the chat, I hope to meet someone there. So
hell yeah.
That is good.
That is still up in the air for me.
It's a lot cheaper than Vegas.
I know.
That's the only reason why I'm able to go to this. That's the only reason.
Well, the problem that I'm having this year, and not to delve too deeply into my personal life, but my mother-in-law's health has declined to the point that my wife can no longer work. She has to stay home to take care of her mom. And I got the summer off, so I'm super appreciative of that and of my wife for letting me do that, because there's not many wives that are all like, yeah, you can take time off from getting paid to go fuck around with your friends on the internet. Who cares?
Yeah, right.
I don't know many women that are like, yeah, that's fine. But now is my time to step up, and I'm back to working 6 days a week. So work is probably going to get in the way of the Orlando trip.
If it does, it does, man. I mean, and for me, doing that weekend is a crunch, even on top of that, despite being cheaper, because Halloween is on Monday. That's Stella's. That's her holiday. That's her. Our place is already decked out. Like, you can't see it, but dude, she already has this place, and it's August 22nd. We're talking 2.5 months away, and our place is already covered. So she's already ready. And I told her, like, I'm taking the morning flights. I'll be back in the afternoon. So, and Yeah, that definitely had to take some talking and convincing. Like, don't
Yeah.
worry, I'm gonna come back. So I had to squeeze in the time, and basically my sleeping will be the flight there and the flight back
Man,
because I'm coming in Saturday afternoon.
that's some hardcore travel plans there, bro. Like, wow. See, and I've always wanted to go back to Orlando because I haven't been back there since I was like 11 years old, 12 years old when we went down there, and we got to go to Universal Studios and all that awesome shit. But I'm hoping maybe next year I can get to the meetups. That being said, of course, Vegas is out of the question.
Maybe a Dallas
Fuck
one.
Vegas.
Everyone's hoping that there's a Dallas one. Seems like a lot of people want there to be a Dallas one again.
Well, if there is another Dallas one, then that's even sweeter for me because that's easy for me to get to. I can drive to Dallas. I know it's like a 2-day drive, but I could still drive to Dallas without an issue.
Okay.
I'm hoping to fly because I fucking hate driving anywhere. But yeah, we'll see how things are going by then. Last year, of course, I got to the meetup because the wonderful people in the chat were donating money and stuff. I would gladly have you guys do that again, except for the fact that I'm probably not going this year. What else you got going on, bro? We're in our last 15 minutes.
Let's see. Last week I did a video called Amazon's Rings of Power is the disease. Beavis and Butthead is the cure. Check that out. I posted that last week. I've got a few other video ideas. I'm brainstorming. Can't say anything yet. And of course, the Comic Shot Talk will be having the Ginger Ninja on and Roger Ryder this Friday, which is going to be a great fellow to once again bring up from the beginning of the stream, Mr. Gabe El Taib, who we had on last week, which that was a powerhouse of an episode. So that's how we're going to follow up Gabe with that one. So I'm feeling good about the future on YouTube. And I'll be on Bounty and the Comics, the Black Pill stream Wednesday night. So I'll be on that with them. So that'll be cool to hang out some different folks and be around streams that I've really not been around much, because it shows you no matter how much you get around within our vicinity, there's always people who aren't aware of you. So that it's gonna be fun to do that. And I'm
preaching to the choir, bro.
Yeah,
we're at 550 now, guys. We're kicking ass. We're at 550. So keep it rolling. Brahma's catching up. Just saying. So my prediction on him passing me in a couple months is going to come true. You just wait and see.
Not put out in a video in like a month or something either.
Well, yeah, but apparently people like the strange bald man from the internet. Hail Ryan Roger Athay.
What's up, Ryan?
I'm glad to see you here. I'm glad to see you're back to making videos at full steam again. That man is crazy. He does like anywhere from like 4 to 30 million videos a day. It's ridiculous.
He's quartering a yellow flash about
it.
All right.
He's killing it pretty good, man. Too. I think he's like, I have to double check this, but I think he's at like 7. Is he near 700? Where are you at, Ryan?
Where's he at with all this?
I have to sort through my 3,000 subscriptions I have here. There you are. He is at 785 now.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the rising star himself. For a man who said he was, using this as a hobby and that he didn't expect any real growth, he's fucking killing it.
Real growth.
Yeah, real growth without Viagra, I might add. So, so he says, haven't taken a break since August 6th. Well,
go ahead.
If you're due for one, take another one. I mean, I know your release schedule is intense, but take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, if you got it in you, keep going. But if you don't, you got to make sure you're still in this for the absolute passion. Because as fun as it is also, it can be an undertaking by way of time. And that time is, you don't think about when you're in the moment being on like a video that you're working on before 2, 3, 4 hours past, like, oh crap, I gotta get this done too. Like, this is got to hold. I gotta finish this tomorrow. And then there's the streams, whether it's Yelling at Park Cars or Midnight's Edge After Dark. There's those they take up the time, but luckily, you know, it brings a lot of interaction and new faces, and you hope to win a few faces over and bring them over to your side of the pond and say, hey, listen, I got a little bit of a different variety going on, and hope that they do. And I've been very fortunate in that regard. Whether it's the Midnight Edge crowd or obviously Comics Division, most of you and I got most of our subs because of our distorted savior.
I'm pretty sure I got 99% of my subs from Comics Division, and to the 3% that watch my videos, thank you. So Casey Charlie chats in response to Ryan Roger Athe says, a positive use of time. Glad he's not calling 911.
True.
That leads to trouble. It would be weird if Ryan was calling 911 because I don't think that's the emergency line over where he's at.
Yeah, that's right.
But Ryan, if you know a way to spoof those calls, you could try 12,000 times a day calling a Florida 911. I don't know if they can charge you, and I know they don't extradite for that kind of thing. So
I would like to know how that works in the UK. Do they do like 119? Like what's their deal? I would like to know, man.
Right.
911 calls, bro.
Maybe I'll have Ryan on in the future, or maybe Mike from XRL7 to ask them about ask them questions about the UK and what it's like to live over in the old country, if you will.
Oh yeah. Ryan and Mike are both. I know Ryan was in the UK. I thought Mike was in Norway or something like that.
Mike Evans, I believe, is actually in the UK. I think he's actually in. Don't quote me on this, and this is not doxing because I don't know, but I think he's somewhere actually near London proper.
London.
But ladies and gentlemen, I don't really have anything else going on other than Yelling at Park Cars and Thursday Night Throwdown this week. So make sure you catch those. I will be working on some Gnome Fairy Tale animation stuff today. I'm going to try and nail down making someone explode. If I get someone to explode effectively, I will make sure to post that for all of you to enjoy. It's 999. Apparently 999 and 112.
Well then,
that's interesting. That's
right. I'm saying
it makes it pretty easy for drunk people to call 911 or to call the emergency services. Hey, Mrs. Flo, thank you for the wonderful bag of meat and stuff. That was great. Did you do your unboxing of that?
I'm going to. I was going to, and then as soon as I found out about Chernobyl, apparently got me a box of something, so I'm going to just do a whole around unboxing of the boxes.
All right.
So
that sounds like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of meat and packages. Meat and packages. So, no, can't wait. Chernobyl, Mrs. Flu, thank you guys. I also have a third one as well coming, so everyone's just going to come with packages at me. So,
hey, Nick likes receiving your package.
I do.
He's big on it.
Straight to papping to the face.
Especially when there's a dick straw. Just saying.
Oh, that is horrible. Oh, damn.
Man, I can't wait for you to see what's inside that package.
It's going to be either.
This is... And Bush McFadden says, ha ha ha, gay.
Oh,
and 666 if you're in Australia. Wow.
Is that for serious?
I doubt it. We'll find out. I'll have Mr. Grant Gregory on here to talk about that. Fuck, is that? That's right. That's right. I do have something else going on this week. I believe I have to double check this. I'm going to be on Mr. Grant Gregory's stream.
Ooh, is it behind the mic?
I believe that is the one. Mr. Grant Gregory. Wear something slutty.
Because, of course, that was what was said.
So Friday the 26th, I will be on Behind the Mic with Mr. Grant Gregory. So it's going to be Monday night tonight with the Shagsworth, Thursday with the boys on Thursday Night Throwdown, and Friday with Mr. Grant Gregory. And of course, he says wear something slutty, so I'll have to just peruse what I have and see what I can do for him. Because I aim to please.
You are such a pleaser. Dicks and all.
Indeed. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it there. Thank you so much for joining us. I had a wonderful time. If you do want to support the channel, go ahead and hit that Ko-Fi link in the description or the live chat replay or whatever it is you got going on there. It will be a fantastic time in the future. Dicks on all.
Dicks on all. I love it. Dick's jokes never get old.
Yes, and there's a direct quote for the Sir TalksALot channel. I can't wait for you to see what's in that package.
And now it's already going to be clipped. Southern Belle's already going for the clipping. Good.
Absolutely.
Clip our packages. Figuratively, goes. Don't literally clip packages.
Yeah, please don't literally clip the packages. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay sexy, don't get murdered, and have a wonderful time.
See you tonight for Yelling at Podcast.
It's going to be huge.
Huge.
Huge.